Just left my house, going to Australia.
Welcome to Modern Grand Tour with me, Garland Lowe. After completing the European leg of my round the world journey, we now arrive in the world's largest country, Russia. Riding the full length of the famous Trans-Siberian Railway, we'll couchsurf with locals along the way to get an insider's view of the fascinating Russian culture. Beginning in the western part of this Eurasian country, my new Russian friends and I explore St. Petersburg, Moscow, Vladimir and Suzdal, Nizhny Novgorod, Perm and Yekaterinburg. Then in the eastern part we discover Tobolsk and Tumen, Novosibirsk, Irkutsk and Okhota Island, Ulan-Ude, Khabarovsk and finally Vladivostok. In this fourth episode across Russia and the 12th in this Modern Grand Tour series, we'll go back to school, do some graffiti, get chased by a security guard and of course blame it on the locals. So let's explore the city of Nizhny Novgorod. On my arrival to my couchsurfing home, my host Kirill and his flatmate Alexander gave me a special welcome by making me a traditional Russian meal called Okroshka, which basically is a salad mixed with a Russian drink called kvass, which tastes a lot like lager. That's different. Let me taste that again. That is different. That is different. It's so weird. It's like... I don't understand why do you put the kvass in? It's normal to put the kvass in.
Almost all Russian people draw Okroshka.
Okay, so now I'm going to try with the mayonnaise.
That's okay, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You like it better with mayonnaise too?
Ты тоже с майонезом больше любишь?
Я вообще ее не люблю.
He doesn't like Okroshka at all.
Nizhny Novgorod is often considered the third city of Russia after Moscow and St. Petersburg. During the Russian Empire, it was the capital of trade, but during the Soviet period, the city was closed to foreigners to safeguard its military facilities. Today, Nizhny is an industrial city noted for its IT and engineering, as well as its river tourism due to its location on the Volga, Russia's national river and the longest in Europe. Wow! This is massive! Okay, so you got, coming across here, is the Oka, River Oka, and then you got this, wow, well, all of that is the River Volga, which is absolutely gigantic, it looks like. That is nuts how much water there is. I've never seen anything like that. Amazing. When I was in St. Petersburg, I thought the river there was big, but this is twice the size.
It has a form of 8.
It's the stairway.
Stairway, yeah.
But it takes a long time to get down.
So we got the Cableway, but rather than go down, we went across to a town called Bor.
Let's go.
Oh, what does this mean?
I'm from Bor, and I do good actions because there is a stereotype in Nizhny Novgorod that Bor is a criminal place. And it is really exotic. I am sure that nobody from London has never been in Bor.
Is this safe to go over these tracks like this?
Yeah.
But the trains come over?
Very bad roads, small cities like this.
Yeah. So we are now entering Kirill's school. He hasn't been back for 3 years.
Да. Это тоже один мой ученик, правда, он такой ученик, которого... Have you ever been to Nizhny Novgorod before?
No, this is my first time.
Никогда в России не был даже.
My first time. My first time in Russia.
In Russia?
Yeah. Big, so Russia is...
Do you love our favorite and very beautiful city Nizhny Novgorod?
Da!
Our town is very dirty or not?
It is more. It is a little bit more dirty than Nizhny.
Nizhny Novgorod.
Yeah.
It's the wrong answer. Maybe you are the first man who came from London to Bor.
Maybe.
I'm sure.
Excellent. I'm honoured to be the first person from London to here to Bor.
How was it?
That was unexpected, but enjoyable. For you, what is the most interesting period in Russian history?
Самый интересный период.
А у нас вся история интересная. Какой период не возьми.
What do you find when you teach students? What do they find the most interesting?
Современный.
Путинский, да?
Да, потому что люди видят, что сегодня происходит в стране, за рубежом.
The politics in Russia today, and the ideas of democracy and corruption. Is this something that everybody in Russia knows and acknowledges? And if so, as a history teacher, how do you teach children that?
Все время напоминаю, что нужно думать и заботиться об интересах народа. И чтобы быть личностью, человеком с большой буквы, то надо приносить пользу окружающим людям, обществу.
Okay. Interesting.
9%.
9%.
9% means
And you just said it's the beer for who?
alcoholics.
Okay, Russian alcoholics.
We have a tradition in Russia that we have to drink the half of the car in one time.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
drink. Faster. How much as you can. Much. To the end. Yeah, you are a hero. Congratulations. Oh God. You are a real Russian after this. You're a hero. Nizhny Novgorod is proud of you.
Yeah.
Almost nobody from my friends could do this, so I'm a true Russian man after this.
So I challenge you, the world, to see if you can match me in downing a hodder in one go. I challenge you, Britain.
For dinner, Kirill and Alexander decided to watch YouTube and have a go at making another traditional Russian meal, this time pelmeni.
Oh, he doesn't like.
Oh, it's like an Italian. Pasta Italiano.
Yes.
Pasta. I'm being taught by two local Russian people who about 1 hour ago was taught by YouTube. Right, here we go.
So now you can eat.
Okay. That's good.
Good? It is not strange for you.
No. That's good. На здоровье.
На здоровье.
На здоровье.
The next day I went to Kirill's university, where I was gratefully allowed to sit in his Russian law class. The student next to me, however, seemed more interested in me than his studies, and I really didn't want to get in trouble with the teacher. I were then joined by classmates Dasha and Yuri, and together we explored Nizhny Novgorod's legendary Blue Fence.
We are now visiting a Blue Fence. This is the next tourist spot in Nizhny Novgorod. So the Blue Fence is important because it has been here for the last 20 years. What's happening behind it? Nobody, okay, so nobody knows what is happening behind the Blue Fence. The Blue Fence is massive. It's like the whole of this road. Anything interesting? The secret doorway?
Somebody built something.
Aha, so the Blue Fence, it does actually end. I'm increasingly excited. Here we go. Oh, no, there's more. There's more Blue Fence, there's more Blue Fence. Oh, here we go. This is behind the Blue Fence. We're at the river now, the River Volga.
Just frozen
In time.
building construction.
So I've just been explained that this is an example of the corruption that kind of happens at local level, because you have the local government taking money from the national government, saying we're going to build something, but then never finish it because they've pocketed the rest of the money, and then the politicians, they disappear. So this is why we have the Blue Fence, to cover up all of this. It has been here for 20 years, which is amazing. In England, people would be outraged. People go like, why is this here? We could build a school, we could build a museum. Where is our money? Where we protest on the street, but here it is normal, and so nobody does anything. Which is kind of sad. Really? Oh, wow.
Wow! Great, yeah?
Спасибо!
KGB.
After vandalising Nizhny Novgorod and escaping the KGB, we then took a pleasant stroll through this quirky Soviet-era park before embarking on our next misadventure.
If we are lucky, we will
Go inside?
Go inside.
Ah,
We have to find a space in the wall.
yeah.
And
Climb in the window.
Yeah.
Found throughout the Soviet Union, a Palace of Culture was a community centre designed to promote communist ideas through facilities such as a concert hall, cinema, library and general recreational spaces. This Nizhny Novgorod Palace of Culture was built in 1927 to commemorate 10 years since Lenin took power. But after the collapse of the USSR in 1991, the waning affection for Soviet heritage resulted in many of these buildings being left to decay. Today, this abandoned Nizhny Novgorod Palace of Culture has no plans for restoration, leaving it to pesky kids like us to get up to no good.
Are you ready to go through window?
Yeah. Faster. Oh wow, look at this. Yeah. Wow. That's a Lenin monument. Is that from the Soviet times?
Yes.
That has some
Yes.
real...
It's everything from Soviet times.
Wow. It's like a war just happened in this place, like yesterday, and everyone deserted it.
Whoa. Tomorrow will be worse than today.
Oh my god!
Watching the kids through the window, I escaped and hid behind this tree as I waited for my friends who, unbeknown to me, had been nabbed by the security guard.
He said that if somebody will come, he kill
Yes.
this
And
this
he
man
said
and
that
say
it was
that
an
it's
accident.
just an accident.
This is team of Russia and team of United Kingdom.
А я не считаю.
Пельмени будут есть?
Дорого? Витя wins.
This Pelmeni is made by my aunt, handmade.
It's very good.
Где-то люди вот что-то знали тоже покушать.
He says that you are a hero because you have decided to traveling across Russia alone.
I think for me it is very helpful that I have very kind people in Russia like Kirill. I could not have had a better time than I have in the last 2 days. It has been absolutely amazing because...
You make me shy.
Na zdrowie!
And so, back on the train and lovingly sent off by my new friends, I could conclude that my time in Nizhny Novgorod were two of the best stays I've ever experienced, travelling or otherwise. A city once closed to foreigners was now one of the most welcoming places I have ever visited. And that, of course, is down to Kirill and his friends.
Very good!
But also, unlike its fellow cities of Moscow and St. Petersburg, it's a place few tourists visit. And therefore, when one does, it seems that they are as curious about me as I them. Join me in the next episode of Modern Grand Tour, where we'll be in Perm and where we'll go trampolining, visit the last surviving gulag, and of course, meet the locals. So until next time, Godspeed.